If strength was all that mattered, Reprobus would have ruled the world. But what if I told you that one of the strongest men in Christian legend wasn't saved by his might, but by a child who seemed to weigh more than the universe? This is the untold story of Saint Christopher, the warrior, the wanderer, and ultimately the Christ-bearer. A tale of pride, transformation, and sacrifice, more relevant today than ever. A giant's quest. His name was Reprobus, a giant in the literal sense, towering, muscle-bound, a man whom even soldiers feared. Some say he stood over 7 feet tall, with a voice like thunder and hands that could crush stone. Born a Canaanite, he was raised in a time of war and superstition. From a young age, he believed that strength was purpose, and purpose was found in serving the greatest king alive. "Why waste my strength on the weak?" he asked. "I will serve only the strongest ruler on earth." Thus began a journey that would take him to kings, demons, and eventually Christ himself. Kings and cowards. He first entered the service of a powerful local king. Noble, wealthy, and feared. But Reprobus noticed something strange. Whenever the name of Satan was spoken, the king would grow pale and tremble. "Why do you fear him?" Reprobus asked. The king replied, "Because evil is older and deeper than I am. I cannot match it." And just like that, Reprobus left. "Then I will serve Satan. If he terrifies kings, surely he is the mightiest." And so, the giant became a servant of darkness. Servant of shadow. He joined the ranks of thieves, warlords, and cultic lords, men who claimed to channel Satan's power. He did their bidding, crushed their enemies, lived like a beast of war. But one day, as he marched beside one of his masters, they came across a forked path marked with a cross. And Reprobus noticed something strange. His master, a self-proclaimed servant of Satan, suddenly recoiled in fear. "Why do you turn away from a wooden sign?" The master snarled. "Because that is the mark of Christ, and even hell fears his name." Reprobus's mind reeled. Then why serve one who cowers before another? Without another word, he turned his back on darkness and sought out the name that made the devil tremble. The search for Christ. 4 weeks, he wandered, asking villagers, monks, travelers, "Where can I find this Christ?" Eventually, he was led to a hermit living in a cave. A man of peace. Thin, old, but with eyes that burned with truth. The hermit taught him of Jesus, Son of God, born in a manger, crucified and risen. He told Reprobus that if he wished to serve Christ, he must fast, pray, and live in solitude. But Reprobus frowned. "I am not a scholar. I am not a monk. Tell me what I can do, not what I cannot." And the hermit gave him a task. "Go to the river. Build a hut. Carry strangers across. Christ will come to you when the time is right." A new kind of service. So Reprobus obeyed. He left the caves and settled near a violent river, one that many feared to cross. With his size and strength, he began to carry men, women, and children across its waters. Sometimes dozens in a day. He built no altar, chanted no prayers. But every time he carried a soul through danger, he felt peace. He waited, and he wondered, is this enough to find the king? The child who changed everything. One stormy night, lightning split the sky and rain fell like judgment. Reprobus heard a tiny voice call to him. "Carry me across," said a small child standing by the flood. He hesitated only for a moment, then lifted the child onto his shoulders and stepped into the river. But something was wrong. With each step, the weight grew. What began as the burden of a child soon felt like the pressure of the earth itself. The river roared. His knees buckled. Still, Reprobus pressed on, refusing to let the child fall. When he reached the far bank, he collapsed in the mud, gasping. "Child, you were heavy as the world." The child looked into his eyes and said, "You did not carry a child. You carried the world and its creator. I am Christ, your king. And you, Reprobus, shall now be called Christopher, the Christ-bearer. A saint is born." From that moment on, Christopher no longer carried just men. He carried the gospel. He became a preacher, warning sinners and kings alike that there was no strength without God. He shattered idols. He healed the sick. He baptized hundreds. But not everyone rejoiced. Under the cruel Emperor Decius, Christopher was arrested. He was scourged, burned, and torn with iron. They tried to bribe him. Then they tried to break him. And when they failed, they beheaded him. The traveler's saint. But death did not end his journey. Christopher's story spread like wildfire. His name became a symbol of protection. Travelers wore his image around their necks. His icons were placed near rivers, bridges, and city gates. Pilgrims prayed to him before crossing oceans. Because the one who once bore Satan's pride had become the bearer of God's mercy. His legacy today. Today, many dismiss his story as myth. But legends don't survive for 1,800 years without truth at their core. Christopher's strength didn't save him. His service did. He reminds us, power means nothing if not used to lift others. True greatness is found not in how much we can carry, but who we're willing to carry, even when it crushes us. If this story moved you, share it. If you've ever felt like you're too broken, too unworthy, too far gone, remember Saint Christopher. He served darkness, and Christ still called him. Your story is not over. Not while there's still breath. Not while there's still a cross to bear. Like this video if you believe strength lies in service. Subscribe to @Crypto Stoic Insights for more stories of redemption, saints, and the hidden fire of history. Comment below, who do you carry in your life today? Let's remind the world. We're not just watchers of history, we're part of it.